They told us football in 2026 would be predictable, that the Giants would dominate again, that history would repeat itself, that underdogs would just survive, not shine. They were wrong. Because in this World Cup, something strange started happening. Teams nobody feared started destroying expectations. Matches that looked easy wins turned into disasters for favorites. And nations nobody talked about became global headlines overnight. And the most shocking part? It wasn't just one upset. It was 5 different teams from 5 different corners of the world, all rewriting the same story at the same time. And by the end of this video, you're going to question everything you think you know about World Cup football. Because number 1 is not even close to normal.
Saudi Arabia. Everyone walked into this match thinking the same thing. Uruguay wins. Easy. But Saudi Arabia clearly didn't read the script. From the first minute, they played like a team with nothing to lose and everything to prove. Tight defensive lines, perfect discipline, zero panic under pressure. Uruguay pushed. Saudi Arabia absorbed. Uruguay attacked again. Saudi Arabia didn't break. And slowly, frustration started creeping in. The favorite couldn't find space. The favorite couldn't find rhythm. The favorite couldn't find a goal. And then the whistle blew. A draw. Not lucky, not accidental. A tactical performance that felt intentional. And suddenly, everyone remembered something uncomfortable. Saudi Arabia doesn't just show up at World Cups anymore, they disrupt them. Ivory Coast? Before the tournament, Ivory Coast was invisible in predictions. No hype videos, no dark horse debates, nothing. Then, they faced Ecuador, and everything changed. From the start, Ivory Coast played with intensity that didn't match their reputation. Fast pressing, direct attacks, constant pressure in midfield battles. Ecuador looked prepared for a normal match. They got a war. And when Ivory Coast scored and held on, it wasn't just a win. It was a reminder that ignoring certain teams in World Cups is always a mistake. Because football doesn't care about popularity. It cares about execution. South Korea didn't come to surprise anyone. They came to prove a system works. Against Czechia, they played like a machine that had been fine-tuned for years. Every pass had purpose. Every run had timing. Every press had coordination. Czechia couldn't slow them down, couldn't break their rhythm, couldn't escape their tempo. And the result wasn't chaos. It was control. A clean victory that didn't rely on moments of luck, but on structure, intelligence, and relentless energy. And that's what makes them dangerous. Because teams like this don't collapse easily, they improve.
Japan has become a different kind of football nation. Not flashy, not emotional, efficient. Against the Netherlands, they didn't try to match European power. They neutralized it. Every Dutch attack met discipline. Every forward run met structure. Every opportunity was reduced to nothing. And then Japan responded. Not wildly, not aggressively, just intelligently. The result? A draw that felt bigger than the scoreline. Because stopping the Netherlands isn't just a result, it's a statement. And Japan has been making too many statements lately to be ignored.
Cape Verde. Now we reach number 1. And this is where everything breaks logic. Cape Verde. A team most fans couldn't even place correctly on a map before the tournament. No global stars, no massive expectations, no pressure. Just a small nation entering football's biggest stage. And then they faced Spain, one of the most dominant technical teams in the world. And what happened next didn't feel real. Spain controlled possession, Spain controlled tempo. Spain controlled territory. But Cape Verde controlled something else. Resistance. Every attack meant aggression. Every pass meant pressure. Every moment felt uncomfortable for Spain. The favorite wasn't dominating emotionally anymore. They were fighting. And then came the final whistle. A draw. Silence.
Because the football world had no easy explanation for what it just saw. And social media exploded instantly. Cape Verde wasn't supposed to be here. But now they weren't just in the tournament, they were in the conversation. And maybe that's the real shock. Not that they survived Spain, but that they made Spain look human. This is the World Cup effect, where names mean nothing, where history doesn't guarantee anything, where reputation gets tested every 90 minutes. Saudi Arabia disrupted expectations. Ivory Coast refused invisibility. South Korea played perfect systems. Japan dismantled Europe's rhythm. And Cape Verde broke the hierarchy entirely. And if this is just the beginning of the tournament, then nobody is safe. Not even the giants.